Welcome to our podcast, It's About Payroll. We're your hosts, Brian Escobar and Walter William Duncan III. Whether you're new to the payroll game or a seasoned veteran, we have something for you. All right, folks, welcome back. How you doing, Walt?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain. How about you, man?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Trials and tribulations of technical difficulties now, and we got to make sure our lighting is good on recording. I love the new camera, by the way. Walt has already upgraded his camera a bit, so I like the new picture. It's clear. I'm still working on I'm gonna upgrade it. Now you got me like, oh man, I want to upgrade mine.
We're coming, man. We're coming with the upgrades all the way around.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, man, for real. Welcome back, folks, again. And this episode is basically a season end cap, a season in review. We talk about all of the episodes and what the key takeaways were, right? Before that, anything new, any little nuggets you want to share, any insights, anything going on?
Just, you know how I am. I just want everybody to realize and understand how important they are.
No doubt.
Like payroll, HR could be a thankless job.
Yes.
Thank you for everything that you've been doing all through the years, and everyone listening.
You too.
Everyone that's tuning in, thank you for your support. Thank you for your constructive criticisms and everything like that, helping us build. Just appreciate it, man. So that's what I'm on today, man. Just trying to be in this vein of gratitude, because it could be easy with everything that's going on in our lives, all the chaos. It can be easy to just switch into that whole pessimistic mindset.
Oh, yeah. I read something once. I was like, we have 10,000 negative thoughts a day, and it's actively programming against that. I don't know if you saw my post today, but it's so funny how we're always in sync. I posted on TikTok about just pushing through the fear, and on the other side of fear is greatness.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we're in that place where, stuff is scary right now. I'm having lighting problems. It's making me anxious. Again, we're really dedicated to delivering a great product to you. And our main thing is, hey, we started this for payroll people. Everything we're doing is literally to make it more convenient for the payroll person. Right. And that ripples out in a lot of ways that make it more fun for us. And like, we're discovering how we can impact payroll people in other ways. But at the end of the day, just like the show name, it's about payroll. But what we've evolved into is it's about people, and it's more importantly about payroll people. We just want to keep delivering on that vein. You know what I mean? We give you edutainment. I think that is the perfect way to explain our show, our goal. We want you to walk away with a little nugget from these conversations. And as we've been so really blessed with our peers giving us feedback and saying, hey, it feels like I'm having a conversation with friends.
Yeah,
I got chills raised, man. That was the highest compliment. Another one of our colleagues, our peers, man, said that this is the future of payroll, right? We're a part of that future. I gotta stop. I'm getting all worked up, man. I'm getting emotional.
No, but it's that gratitude, right?
Yeah,
it's that gratitude we were talking about, right? It's just to be making an impact, to be helping, which is why we started this in the first place. And I want to shout out, like you were speaking to Melissa's point, she shared something with us, a little nugget that she got from her being on the episode, right? And the praise and the accolades and everything, and that the person said to her must have made her feel good about what she did. And it's just about payroll people. It's about people, like you said.
So yeah, folks, we had 9 episodes this season, including the I guess 10 with the 2 true crimes, right? So 10, but we kind of just going to recap that in one for you guys. That's the fun piece. If you missed it, did a true crime about Money Mike over there, mystery in the museum.
Mausoleum Mike.
Well, yeah, he was a really great first true payroll crime story, because there's so many little gems in there and helpful data validations that you can do. If you've missed it, check it out. We gave you the true crime, but we also broke down how to prevent this in payroll. And that I think is the most fun thing about the true crimes that we do, because true crime is super popular, right? we had to be different, right? This is payroll. Like, how are you going to make it different? So I believe we succeeded at that. You guys let us know. And then we had another Money Michael Mann, and his nonsense.
The CEO of the payroll company. Yeah, he was crazy for the stuff he did. And then the last one was what? The
Veronica and the gang.
In Texas, yeah.
Yep. And she basically used ghost employees and overpayments to existing employees and started a little racket, a conspiracy, right? You conspire to steal, and that's what they did. But she was the ring. Of course, she was the payroll manager. The payroll person is the ringleader. And that was another one that you can learn from that on how to prevent these things. And that's what we're going to do in every true payroll crime is give the crime and give on how you can prevent it, how you can find it. And the only exception was Michael Mann. He was like a bonus story and was more of a warning to payroll, to business owners looking to get a payroll company for the first time. Whew, exhaust that due diligence.
Yes.
What does our CFO say? Comprehensively exhausted.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That means you covered everything exhaustively. So you need to do that and honestly, not only whoever you are picking a payroll provider, you need to do that. And then we did it in reverse. So we're going like the most recent stuff and backwards. We had, before that, we did the global payroll episode with Melissa, and that one was really cool. More to come on that. We're excited. We're going to actually follow up with some more global payroll info. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But the nuggets. The nuggets from her episode were compliance, stay on top of the changes and unique impacts in the country. She's like in 30 something countries. You got to manage all these countries. It's a bunch of countries over multiple payroll systems. So you got to be on top of your game with the compliance in each country, and you have to be on top of your game with managing each system. You got to report across those systems, and there's not a tool to pull it all across. You are the tool, basically. And then she called out a really interesting nuance for global. Yeah, I'm so Puerto Rican. I talk with my hands so much. That is called, I don't know what it's called, but basically they have in some countries, in most countries, he said 13 or 14-month pay salaries. And what they do is they double or triple it up in December to make up for that. They want to give holiday stuff, but they don't give you extra. They just take your salary and divide it by 13 or 14, right? And can double and give you the 2 or 3 extra payments in December. So that is some interesting stuff, guys. Like it really is. And I think that's why I guess there was such a big demand around the global payroll stuff. So we're obliged to deliver, guys. So we'll be back with more with that.
Thank you, Melissa.
What's the next one? What's the next? Why don't you cover the next 2 for us, Walt, and I'll jump back in there.
So one of the next ones is what to do if your payroll process is failing, right? So basically 3 short nuggets about that.
Cry.
Cry first, get all those emotions out.
Get it out.
And then evaluate your process.
Yeah.
Evaluate your people. And evaluate the payroll provider or the system or the tech stack that you have.
Your tech stack, your ecosystem. Yep.
So that's pretty much it. If it's failing, you have to do some research. You may have to look inward.
Yep.
Or when I say inward, not as a person, I'm saying like enter in the company or whatever. But
you may have to look inward. You don't know. That's in that crying stage. You may really have to dig in and
do some self-reflecting.
Depending on, I mean, come on, if your payroll process is failing, and we talk about what failing means in the show, right? We talk about basically if anybody missed a pay, it's a failure, right? But on a grand scale, like yes, if one person misses their something in payroll, that check date, that's an error. But if a whole group of people miss their pay, that's a failure. That's a pay failure. And unfortunately, I don't know if we've all been through it, but we've all been through something like it, something that you can call a failure. So that's what we mean, folks. And then as you deal with many failures, you realize that it all boils down to one of 3 things in business, right? The process, the people, or the tech, or the technology you're dealing with. So that's what it boils to. What's the next one?
Next one is we had a benefit conversation with Tori Reyes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, she's an up and comer. She's a benefit rep, who works independently, and she brought a lot of different information to it, and she basically spoke to the business owners and people out there who are looking for benefits. One of the main things that she said was do your research to discover what's best for you.
Yep.
Your job may offer different benefit package, and it may not work for you, but there might be something out there on the market or something that Tori may offer that might be a better fit for you and your family, for your pockets. So do your research. It'll help to speak to a benefit rep. If you're able to do that, to speak to someone on benefits and help you figure that out, and so have someone like Tori guide you along the way.
Yep.
And the last nugget is just really another shout out to Tori. So go check her out, Tori Reyes on LinkedIn, and she can get you some help.
One of the things that I really took away from that is understanding, like, businesses under 50 employees, I believe she said, really have a challenge plugging into these networks and getting insurance and stuff like that. So her value proposition and her business, model is that they can cater to one person, right?
Yes.
So if you have a team of 5 or 10, they can cater really down to each individual and build what they need. So that was a really good call out. That was something I learned from that conversation. That was really cool.
Yeah. Great, man. So you take the next two.
Yes, sir. Ooh, this one, bankruptcy with Fran. That was a lot of fun. Fran, another learning experience, dropped so many gems on us. We are gonna have Fran back in season 5. We don't know what day yet. We're gonna send her a schedule to pick out a day, and we're gonna do some best practices with Fran.
Yeah.
But she taught us about going through bankruptcy. At a company. So again, folks, season 4 was about the business owner. So there are companies that go bankrupt, and it just is part of the cycle. It's part of business. And she was helping us understand what the challenges are, what to do. And we have some huge call outs from that. So one of them is making sure that you're going to have the money to pay the employees in those final stages, in those final few weeks or final whatever. You got the money. The company actually has the money. So as a payroll person, you should go. You're in the bank. Hey, guys, can we make sure we're going to have payroll to the last day? And believe me, you don't assume anything. There's so many little things I think are normal to me, but that nobody else is thinking about. So that's part of your value add to your company is say it. Even if they thought about it, no problem. They're like, oh, wow, wait. The payroll person called it out. He's right. We got to make sure we got money. And then another one was work closely with the legal team and basically to get the scheduling so that when things are going to happen. When is everybody's official last day of work? Is that staggered through teams, right? Because payroll HR team might be the last ones on the last day. Another department may have been last day 3 months ago, but payroll and HR still going, right? Right. So you need to understand what that schedule looks like for your planning as a payroll person, how you're going to pay this all out. What's your last day? And I think a really good one. So let me see. Yeah. So work closely with the legal team. Understand that. Provide benefits and support to employees for transition. This was an extra. This was what one of the leaders there at the organization that was going through this, I believe it was the HR leader, they put something together for the employees to get either like job placement, help them out, extend, like go through that process. They almost went like through an offboarding orientation, so to speak, an exiting type of, but help. They gave them a job fair, I believe, and they ran the benefits for longer than they. So it's like, be a human in this process. And think about your people and think about how you can set them up for success, even though you're laying all these people off. You know what I mean? So that was really nice. It's not so much, that's not a required best practice. That's being a good person, right?
Yeah.
What was the other one? Reporting and tying up and understanding the schedule for the last step. Tying up the last steps, but also understanding that schedule. Again, loops back to working with the legal team and understanding that. And the reason why I say this, the reason why I called it out like this is because Fran brought up something very interesting. This business bankrupted or finished and closed their doors at the beginning of this year, 2023,
Yes.
January, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? It went into January. So guess what? Those employees, whoever had January pay, is going to need to get a W-2 for whatever those amount of payments were.
Yep.
So now, right? You could have wrapped it up in December and not had to deal with this, but led over into January. So now, but guess what? W-2s are not ready until 12 months from now, 11, 10 months from now.
Mm-hmm.
The company's done. Who's going to take care of that?
It's a good question.
Those are the questions that you got to ask yourself when you're bankrupting, when you're part of a company that's going through the bankruptcy. Step up as a payroll person and come to the table with this stuff. Because guess what? You don't know who you just impacted. Now, yeah, you may be out of a job soon, but yeah, everybody's going somewhere. You show, maybe this is your time to shine. And they're like, dang, that payroll person was a steady Eddie. I never knew that they were really this great, man. Wow, they add a lot of value. Boom, helps you out in the future in your career. Everything is attitude. Don't take the bankruptcy as I ain't helping these people. Forget this and blah blah blah. No, Fran was a consummate. Is that the right word? Just an excellent professional.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? The great example of professionalism. Right? She stood it and wrote it out for her customers. Right? She could have bailed. She could have bailed, man, and left the company like, yo, I'm out. She's got tremendous experience. She could have been gone.
Yeah.
But she said no. And this is often the truth with payroll people. It's that work ethic. It's that grind. It's that we like to help. We want to be helping folk. Right?
Yep.
That she is the example of that because she stood it out. She wrote it out until the very last day and made sure. And I guess what? She's already working at a new job. Great new job for her. Mm-hmm. I promise you she's going to be thinking about this company's W-2s come that time. I promise you she'll be like, dang, I wonder if this went right. I'm going to check up on it or whatever. Right? So it's little things like that. It's really the devil's in the details, and it's the details that like you can, plan out and make sure everything's good.
Yep.
So what else and that was it for Fran. So the takeaways for Fran was to make sure you got money to pay the people to the last day, have that schedule, and then be human, help your people. There was also a reporting note. Make sure all your reporting from the time that kind of things start shutting down to the very end are covered, because that's when, if you don't have Fran there, folks are not paying attention to the reports that they should be saving. They're like, yo, this place is bankrupt. I am out of here. If you brought in a temp, because let's say if Fran left and they had to bring in a temp, they wouldn't have had anything. So anyway, it was just, I really learned a lot from that show. Shout out to Fran. Thank you so much. Let's see how many we got here. We got 3 more.
Yeah,
2.
6.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Look, you do the 2.
You next 2. 6.
Oh, I gotta do 6?
Yeah, you only did 1.
Damn, I be talking too much, bro. That's why. All right. My bad. 6 is in-house versus outsourced. So basically, we had Christina from Valor Payroll.
Yeah, superstar.
Rising stars, superstars. I love it, bro. I love working with all these folks. And she talked to us basically about working with some of her business owners and helping them understand, like, can they stay in-house or should they go outsourced and hire a Valor Payroll type company to help them do payroll, to do their payroll. And we went through, we had a great conversation. Good takeaways are: do your research, do your due diligence. Whether you are a payroll manager or a business owner looking to do this, make sure you're vetting your vendors, the choices. And I think right away, Michael Mann, right? He stole money. He was a payroll CEO and stole money. He stole money after you pushed the payroll button. After you push the magic payroll, pay everybody button, boom, you sent direct deposits. You told the vendor to take the money and do their thing, right? That magic button on Wednesday that gets hit to pay people Friday. After that happened, Michael Mann stole money from you. Yep. So in that episode, you really learned, like, all right, what are do I need in-house? Maybe not. I don't know. Do I?
Mhm.
If you do, and if you're stuck, and if you're a business owner, if you're a payroll person and you're like, gosh, I don't know. There's sometimes we don't know as payroll people. It's okay not to know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay not to have had that experience in your career. It just is what
Mhm.
it is. But now you have to find a new vendor. You may want to consider hiring a payroll consultant,
Good
a,
call out.
a veteran in the industry, somebody who's been around, who's seen it all.
Yep.
There are a few good consulting companies out there for payroll. So,
Mhm.
right, look, if you don't want to find just the one person that just started, go to a bigger company, get a little bit, pay for one session of advice,
Yeah.
and try to get. And if it sounds really good, and they think you think they, boom, then you might want to stay with them and just get some guidance, because it is hard to navigate, man. And you're talking millions of dollars in some cases. Absolutely, get the right guidance.
Yep.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, and again, shout out to Valor Payroll. If you're considering payroll companies, give them a call. And we don't say it because we think Christina's cool and no, their business proposition is like no other.
Yeah.
And like she says, they are all up in your payroll. And
Yeah.
what that means, they are looking at everything, the way it's set up, what it means, the coding. They are in there, and they're not only looking at it, but they're presenting it back to their clients like, hey, we found some stuff. You know what I mean? And this needs to be fixed. That
Yep.
is not normal from a payroll processing company. Usually most companies, they don't want to get in that liability. That's a
Yeah.
liability, because now you're
Yeah.
giving advice, right? A little bit of
Mhm.
best practice,
Right.
compliance. So their value add rather. Valor Payroll is very different. Give them a shot. Make them part of that list that you're making. What else? What
Number
else?
7, we talked
Ooh,
about structuring your payroll team this
yep,
season.
yep,
So you need to ask yourself a couple of things. Is like one of the key points we pointed out is, how much bandwidth do you need? How many people do you
yes,
need?
yep,
And what levels? Do
yep,
you need 2 juniors and a senior? Do you need the structure? You got to figure all that out, right?
yes,
And so some of these go hand in hand. If you have a payroll process that is failing, like one of the other episodes we talked about, is it something to do with how you have your team structured? That's part of the evaluating your people step, right?
yep, yep,
So you want to make sure that you hire the right people as well. I forget his name, but he basically says hire for attitude, and you can
yes.
teach skills.
That's
I
right.
forget his name, but it escapes me right now. But that's basically what he says: hire for attitude,
Yeah,
hire for the person that's hungry,
yep.
that's going to work hard, that you can teach this to, that you can teach how to come up, right?
That is
So,
a payroll person. We're cut from a different breed, payroll
yep,
folk, man. So yeah, word up.
yep. Then number 8 was business continuity. I had fun with this one,
Yeah, me too.
actually. So basically, sometimes we don't realize, we just get so in the flow of things, and
Hmm.
we don't even look at this stuff from a business continuity standpoint, let
Yep,
alone payroll, just in general.
yep.
Corporate companies, different type of things, headquarters, they don't look at this stuff so much.
Mm-mm.
They wait until it happens, and it's a kind of a reactionary type of response, right?
Yep.
So, like for this one, you need to make sure that you have a plan in the first place. And if you do, but you are lucky and there's a plan in place, you need to review that plan.
Hmm.
And once you review that plan, you need to test that plan out and say,
Pressure
oh, does
test it.
this
Yep,
work?
yep,
Like pressure test, right?
yep.
And then rinse and repeat.
Yes, I love it.
But things are going to change, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What are you going to say? Go ahead.
No, that's it. I love the simplicity of these takeaways. Have a
Mhm.
plan, review a plan, test the plan, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
That's business continuity. And for folks who are not familiar with the phrase, it's what is it? Doomsday planning for home. So that's what business continuity is. A corporate
Mhm.
level is just like doomsday planning. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. And you
And
got
the
the last
last
one,
one,
sir.
yeah, I got it.
All
Thank you,
right.
sir.
Okay.
What payroll means to an organization. And this is the last one, but this was the first episode we did in the series, because we have to first establish, do you need payroll, right? Or can you just keep doing it yourself? That's the main takeaway. Are you a new owner? Are you brand new in this and you just started open up doors? How many employees do you have? There's a different path for the new owner as opposed to the established business. That I love the tie back wall. is your payroll failing now? And now what does payroll mean to my organization because it's failing?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or it's not, or it could be not scaling properly, right? Maybe it's fine, but now you're growing and you see that there's challenges there, right? Because I'll give you a really good one, having the need to go have a time and attendance system, right? Maybe you have one location and signing in on the main spreadsheet or the clipboard was fine.
Yeah.
You know, I had that at my first payroll job. The accounting team signed in a book. we wrote it. We wrote in a book, and that's how we did it. You know, it is. But if you're scaling, dang, you may need to go mobile. You may need a mobile app now. You can geo-fence it around your locations. Whoa, we're getting fancy, right? Yeah. So if you're an established organization and it doesn't have to necessarily fail, or it doesn't necessarily, you know, but goodness gracious, is it going to stand this scale that we're about to do, right? Yeah. So that was the number 9 one, or the first episode rather, back at the beginning of this series was, what does payroll mean to your really? What does it mean to your organization, right? Yeah. And again, the major takeaway, are you a new business owner? Because it means something different there. Or are you an established business? And what is it that you're trying to accomplish? You know? Yeah.
So those are our 9 key points for the season. I know total episodes, we had like 12 episodes for the season.
Did we?
Yeah, this is going to be our 12th.
Oh,
yeah, so
this one's 12. Okay, got it.
This one's 12. So we had like what makes payroll and what payroll means to an organization. That was done in 2 parts, like you spoke to. New owner.
We did? Yes. We did it in a separate episode? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Because it ended up being so long, we didn't want to.
You're right. Yeah. Okay, got it. I got it. So yes, but that's why we want to give you this summary where we're going to do season in review. Year in review, we're going to do a season in review for all of you folks. And this way you can grab something. We look at it as like a chapter summary. Yeah. When you get to the end of a chapter, usually in like books, learning books, right? You can review what you were supposed to learn. This is what you were supposed to learn in this season. So if you're the owner out there, hey, you don't have time to listen to every episode, listen to this episode, and then you can zero in on where oh crap, wait, I need to go to that one because that's my problem, right?
Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, man, for a successful season 4. Looking forward to the next season, man.
Me too. Wrapping this up. We're going to do True Payroll Crime next week. We have so much fun with it. I love the edutainment piece of it. Just, man, we're having a ball, guys. So I hope you stick with us for the journey. We're on YouTube now. We're everywhere you listen to podcasts. So stay tuned for way more. Yep. We have only just begun, folks.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Right, take care, everybody.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of our podcast. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. And we hope that the information that was shared with you will impact you as a payroll professional. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.